Welcome to Expository Writing. We are going to be learning about expository writing. Now, your first question might be, what is expository writing? Expository writing is writing that is used to explain or teach about a certain topic. It's different from narrative writing because narrative writing is used to tell a story. It's more about fiction and just made up stories. Expository writing is nonfiction and it's used to explain or teach. For this assignment, you have a choice to write about a sport or an animal. Now, it's very important that the topic you choose you know very well. You don't want to write about something you don't know very much about because it's going to be hard to write a 5-paragraph essay. So choose a sport or an animal that you know quite a bit about. I want to take a look at the prompt that you will respond to when you write about your sport or animal. Let's start by looking at the prompt for the sport. Here is the prompt for writing about a sport. You are a grade 5 student. Choose one sport you know about. Write a 5-paragraph essay explaining the equipment or clothing, the rules or styles of the sport, and the playing field or space. Remember to include a thesis statement and a conclusion. Now, for right now, I want you to ignore everything except what's written in this section, because this is the part of the prompt that tells you what kind of ideas you will need to brainstorm. It says, write a 5-paragraph essay explaining the equipment or clothing, the rules or styles of the sport, and the playing field or space. These are the 3 main ideas that you want to brainstorm. Number 1, equipment or clothing. Number 2, the rules or styles of the sport. And number 3, the playing field or space. Now we'll talk about the prompt if you want to write about an animal. You are a grade 5 student. Choose one animal you know about. Write a 5-paragraph essay explaining what the animal looks like, what it eats, and where it lives or how you care for it. Remember to include a thesis statement and a conclusion. Now I want you to focus on the part right here, because this part will give us the 3 main ideas we want to focus on when we brainstorm our information. It talks about writing a 5-paragraph essay explaining what the animal looks like, what it eats, and where it lives or how you care for it. I guess if it's an animal that lives in your house, you would talk about how you care for it. If it's an animal that lives in the wild, you can talk about where it lives. Now in your booklet, you will open up to this page. You'll see that it has the prompt, and this prompt is for writing about an animal. We also have the prompt for writing about a sport if you choose. But the really important thing is right here. This is where we want to brainstorm our ideas. Now remember that we have in the prompt, we have the 3 main ideas we want to brainstorm. For this example, it's what the animal looks like, what it eats, and where it lives or how we would care for it. So this is where we want to brainstorm that information. There are 2 ways you can brainstorm the information, and I'll show you an example of each. Let's pretend I am going to write about cats. In the space provided, I can brainstorm everything I know about cats and how it relates to what they look like, what they eat, and where they live or how you would care for it. Here is the list that I've made. So I have my heading of cats, and I've identified by writing down words or phrases what I know about cats. So what they look like, what they eat, and how you might care for it. Another way to show this information would be in a word web. Some people like word webs, and this is what that would look like. Here is a word web. As you can see, I still have my main heading of cats in the middle, and surrounding it, I have all the information that I've come up with that connects to the prompt of what the animal looks like, what it eats, and how you care for it. Now it is your turn to start brainstorming. So choose your topic, a sport or an animal. Make sure you know a lot about it, and then start your brainstorming. Write down everything you can that will respond to the prompt.